The U.S. shot down an object over Alaska. The government doesn't know what it is yet, it is said. U.S. fighter jets on Friday afternoon shot down a mysterious object about the size of a car that was detected about 40,000 feet over Alaska.
The military is attempting to recover what's left of a Chinese spy balloon after a fighter jet shot it down over the Atlantic Ocean. Our North America correspondent Barbara Miller has more.
The balloon was shot down mid-afternoon local time. Now, this came after 3 airports in North and South Carolina received an order to halt all traffic. Aircraft were restricted over a large area just off the coast of North and South Carolina. And then we started to see social media videos of what looked like this white balloon deflated and heading towards the ocean. Now, U.S. naval craft are in the ocean that's off the Carolinas coast, and they're hoping to recover the debris of that Chinese spy balloon to see what they can learn from that. President Biden was on Air Force One as the balloon came down. He's been attending a private event today. He had foreshadowed this event, speaking for the first time publicly earlier, saying we're going to take care of it when asked about the balloon. He came off Air Force One just after that balloon had come down. And he told reporters that when he had first been briefed on Wednesday about this situation, he'd asked the military to take it down as soon as possible. They'd advised him, he said, to wait until the balloon was off the coast of the U.S. So as not to put people in harm's way. So the balloon, the U.S. is now confirming, was shot down while...
It's not yet clear what it was. The White House is describing it as a high-altitude object. But this incident marks the second time in a week where dramatic action has been taken to shoot down something deemed to be a threat over the skies of America. We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now, John Kirby, a spokesman for the White House National Security Council, told reporters. Last Saturday, fighter jets downed a Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina. But in that case, the military knew what they were shooting down and where it came from, Kirby said. In this case, it's a mystery. Or is it? It did not appear to have the maneuverable capability that the other one did, so it was virtually at the whim of the wind, he said. We do not know who owns it, whether it's state-owned, or corporate-owned, or privately owned, he said. Interesting. Fighter jets tried to get a look at the object first. The object was first detected on Thursday night. Fighter jets flew by it to try to get a look at what it was, but it was hard to tell. It was a small object, and these are fighter aircraft flying at pretty high speed, Kirby said. On Friday, in daylight, they tried again, before they shot it down. The object did not appear to have the same kind of capabilities as the Chinese spy balloon, he said, which was able to maneuver and loiter, slow down, speed up. It was very purposeful, that flight path inside the jet stream. The object posed a risk to civilian planes. By Friday morning, President Biden had given the order to shoot the object down at the recommendation of Pentagon leaders because it posed a risk to civilian aircraft at that altitude, Kirby stated.
Stepping off the plane there on the tarmac, let's listen.
Today, when I was briefed on the balloon, I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided, without doing damage to anyone on the ground, they decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within the 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it, and we'll have more to report on this.
This thing did not appear to be self-maneuvering, so therefore, at the mercy of the prevailing winds, it was much less predictable. The president just wasn't willing to take that risk, he said. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was briefed. This afternoon, an object that violated American airspace was brought down. I was briefed on the matter, and supported the decision to take action. Our military and intelligence services will always work together to keep people safe, the tweet stated. At a Pentagon briefing, spokesman Brig General Pat Ryder said the object was shot down by a F-22 fighter jet at 1:45 p.m. Eastern.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for your patience while we were delayed a little bit. I have a few things to talk about up top, and then we'll get right to your questions. So first of all, to add to information already provided earlier by the White House, at the direction of the President of the United States, fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command successfully took down a high-altitude airborne object off the northern coast of Alaska at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, within U.S. sovereign airspace over U.S. territorial water. On February 9, North American Aerospace Defense Command detected an object on ground radar and further investigated and identified the object using fighter aircraft. The object was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet and posed a reasonable threat to the safety.
The White House has faced criticism, particularly from Republicans, for waiting to shoot down the Chinese spy balloon, which entered the U.S. airspace over Alaska on January 28, before crossing over western Canada and then into Idaho on January 31. It flew over several states until February 4, when it was shot down off the coast of South Carolina. The object's debris will be studied. The object landed inside U.S. territory in the frozen waters of the Arctic Ocean, just off the very, very northeastern part of Alaska, Kirby said. The debris field for the object is expected to be smaller than that of the Chinese spy balloon, he said, and the frozen conditions may make recovery easier.